Okay, I got my VPA 13-inch ILF riser today. I went on the ILF sites and asked who had these and what they thought about them, and the guys that had them loved them. And they said it seems to feel good in their hand, and it's a nice pointing and shooting riser. Well, I agree with them. I just took it out of the box. I didn't set it up yet, and the grip feels nice to me. I'm not sure if I like the slippery feel of it. I may put a little leather on it, but I love it so far. If you look in the ILF fittings, it has that, this is the top one, has a drop-in connector. So you put it in, and it goes in so smoothly. The stainless steel, all the parts are stainless steel. And I'm going to set it up. I'm going to set it even tiller. I'm going to use the beater blocks, whatever you call them there. I'm going to make sure that the limbs are aligned perfectly. I made a nice X99 tapered Flemish twist string. Okay, and then after I set it up, we're going to go outside and see how it shoots. I chased down 3 UPS trucks in the neighborhood to finally get the riser early. Yeah, I figured I'd let you know while I'm setting this up here that there are locks for the limb adjusting bolts, okay? It's Allen key and SAE Allen key. Back them out so you're able to adjust the tillers, and then when you're done, snug them up. And after you're shooting for a while and you know that everything's set the way it is, I like to put a little blue Loctite on things because these have a tendency on other risers to fall out. I don't know about this one. And then this comes with a little adjustment, which is very interesting there for adjusting the center shot of the arrow. And from what I see, it's just an Allen key that you would loosen up and make the adjustments and retighten it. Okay, we'll look at that a little bit more. And I put the alignment blocks on, and you really can't see, but the limbs are perfectly aligned. And now that they're perfectly aligned, I just got to make sure that the adjustments are snug so we don't wiggle, all right? Get back to you. I use the limb alignment blocks, okay? You can buy these limb alignment blocks. They're pretty reasonable. And if you have an ILF, you have to make sure your limbs are aligned. But you don't have to buy those blocks. You could get just some paper tape, painter's tape, and put it across here and here, measure to the center, put a line, and when you look down the bow, the string should overlap those lines. And if let's say the bottom one is on, but the top one is off to the right, you can loosen this one up, loosen them both up. And if it's this way, you can tighten it a little bit, move it over, and then retighten the other side. You can move them back and forth, but you want these aligned. You want everything set up good before you start. Okay, so I adjusted them. These limb adjusting bolts were loose. I adjusted it, put them on. The top had to be adjusted a little bit. I tightened everything up, and you don't gorilla tighten them because you could strip them out. Okay, I loosened this lock nut up here so you could adjust this center shot plunger. It's not really a plunger, it's a dead solid. But I adjusted it so I could move it in and out, and I have it center shot, just about center shot, and I snugged it up to go outside with. Okay, so that's what I wanted to touch base with. I made even tillers, and then when I was done, these are the limb bolt set screws, and I tightened them up to make sure that the limb bolts were, once they're under pressure, don't get me wrong, once these are under pressure, these limbs, even if you didn't have these set screws, it ain't going nowhere. But you set them tight, this way when you unplug them, you change limbs back and forth, they don't move. And you still should check your tiller and brace height if you change limbs, because limbs are shaped differently. All right, and just to make sure, double check everything. All right, I'm gonna go out and shoot and we'll see how it does. Okay, we're out here with my 13-inch VPA riser. and I have Yucca Gobi 40-pound limbs on it, and I put it on my scale, and on my scale it says 38 pounds. And if you want to know about arrow tuning, go to Barebow Joe Fletched and Bear Shaft Tuning. But what I did was I came out, and this is a new string, and you never want to do any tuning or anything until you take a few shots. And even though this is a fast flight material, what happens after you shoot a while, the puffs open up, the string gets tight around the puffs, things change. So I took about 25, 30 shots just messing around with it. And what I did notice was these same limbs on my 15-inch riser, okay, my Carbon Z riser, the arrows, the 500 spine arrows I have, were perfectly tuned. On this, the arrows were flying stiff, which means you didn't get the same speed out of it for whatever reason. You know, I'm not an engineer. I didn't sit down and think about it. I'm just telling you what is going on here. So, taking a few shots with it now, and from my experience, even with the Satoris that have that hard pad, I never really liked the hard pad. I'd rather build up Velcro to come out, because I believe there's a little bit of a bounce coming off the shelf, and the soft Velcro, if you build it up, has a little bit more of a cushion plunger effect, and you get a better flight. Just my opinion. Okay, just my opinion, all right? Maybe it's just my old ways or whatever, but that's my opinion. But I love the feel. You know, somebody said the grip was like a K-Mag, you know, the smaller grip, and I do like this grip, okay? And I'm gonna take a couple shots with it now, and I'm gonna try 3 under, because it seems to be dropping a little bit. 3 under, top finger to the corner of my mouth, just to see how it flies. And then I'm gonna go in the house. I'm taking this off. I'm taking this off, and I'm putting Velcro on this adjustable, you know, pad here, and then we'll see how it is, okay? So let me give it a shot. We'll see. Let's see if I can do good for the video. Okay, see, that one went way off. That was me though. Okay, one was on, one was off. Obviously me. It ain't off that much with the bow, but just gonna send the bear shaft down there. Okay. And what we'll do is we're gonna take a look. Like I said, I just don't like the idea of the arrow coming off a hard pad with a tiny little bit of Velcro on it, or especially thin Velcro. Okay, so you see my shots here. When the arrow goes to the left, it's usually your hand comes off your face. And I don't know what I did, honestly. Probably was a pluck. But just so you see the bear shaft and the fletch shaft, okay? It's pretty good. I'm gonna put Velcro on, and then I'm gonna come out and reshoot it, and we'll see how it is. Okay, I'm gonna take off that adjustable center shot pad, the metal, and I'm going to put Velcro on. And just to show you what I'm going to use, it's a paint stirrer, piece of paint stirrer. That's about the right thickness, okay? And then Velcro is going to go over that, and then we'll go outside and I'll fine tune it, okay? Okay, I took that pressure button, adjustable button off, And what I wound up was, I had first a strip of a piece of paint stirrer that was a little too thick. I took it off. I have a strip of Velcro behind the Velcro pad, and that seems to be pretty good. I like it for a few reasons. There's a bigger area, right, for the arrow to hit for a pad. You know, even though the rise is pretty quiet, if you hit it with the arrow, it's dead if you hit the Velcro. So I like the big Velcro pad. And I'm gonna take a shot at 20 and 25 just to see how it is. And I think we're good. I really like the bow. I like the technology of the adjustable pad, but I don't like it. I just think it's a hard surface. It gives a bounce. I'd rather have Velcro. It's more like a cushion plunger. And from what I learned from the Satori that comes with that hard plate with the thin felt on it, is you get better groups. You get better groups with the felt, okay, instead of having a hard surface for a pad, okay? So we're gonna give it a shot. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, that's 20 yards. And that's 25 yards. I'm pretty happy with the bow the way it feels. I think I'm gonna have to do just a tiny little bit more tuning tomorrow with it. Maybe try with a 10 grain washer. But so far I'm happy with it. I gotta practice before I go hunting. And the reason I got it was because I wanted a shorter bow that I could squeeze in my 80-inch blind with. And it should work out, okay? Because I'm short, it should work out. So, all right, I hope the video was informative for you. And I do like the bow. I just don't like that any hard fixed arrow pad. I'd rather have a piece of Velcro, okay? All right, if you want to find out more about tuning or some of my other videos, just check out Bare Bow Joe on YouTube. Thank you.